Alright guys, welcome to the show. Let's do this. Big question we have today is the dump over? Is this it? Are we all bullish again? Well, you see this pattern here. I've shown you this pattern yesterday as well, how it works, and kind of done on a larger time frame just to kind of show you exactly how it works. So you can see how we have these are trend lines. Every one of them is a trend line. And just looking at the trend lines, you can see where we are currently. So if we zoom in, you can see that we had this falling trend line here, and we've kind of just peaked above it, but we haven't really confirmed yet. And I want everybody to stay calm and understand exactly what's going on, right? Because you have to see the market for what it is. I know a lot of people are going to be very bullish. I know a lot of people are going to say the bottom's in already, but you have to be very careful. Hello Habibi, how you doing? All right, Enes, welcome to the show, bro. Thank you very much for coming up. By the way, guys, if you're new to the show, hit that subscribe. If you're already here and you've already part of the family, please hit that like button. Let's get the word out and let YouTube algorithm know that we're basically keeping people calm and moving people on, right? So we have to look at this on a bigger picture, right? Because everything looks super solid, right? You know, if for example, when we go to these shorter time frame, it's all, you know, super solid. Wow, look, we just broke out. But there's a lot more here. Of course, we're okay, that's fine. We just came out of the trend line, but that doesn't change anything for us, because until we go above this one neckline here, and I've been mentioning this yesterday as well, so I want everybody to understand. See this previous high here? Until we break this neckline and invalidate this point, we're not going anywhere. And I want to demonstrate this on another chart. So let's just leave this chart where it is. I'll keep it as it is. I won't delete this chart or anything. At some later stage, I will delete it. But for now, we'll just keep this going anyway, because it is a good little guidance for us to understand what the market is doing. So for example, we've come down here, we've done this, we've done that. And what are we going to do next? Are we going to go down or are we going to go up? We can actually decide, but just looking at the patterns from here, right? We'll talk about this more in another video, but this is what I want to show you. So I showed you this video yesterday. I can change some of the parameters. I can change some of the colors just to kind of let you guys see properly, right? So if we're looking at this right now, you can see that how we've, you know, we had this channel a few days ago, and this is on the hourly chart, by the way, guys. So you can see how we had this channel, we broke out of the channel, which is awesome. But since we broke it, I mean, the trend line, right? It's a downward trend line. Let's see who's here. Hey, bro. Hey, KR. What's happening, bro? So this is what we've got, right? But the problem that we have here is, of course, this is a trend line. We've been talking about what the probabilities are based on these symmetrical triangles, because they're actually not bullish, neither they're bearish as well. You know, a symmetrical triangle could be very bearish on a downward trend. On an uptrend, it could be very bullish. And currently, we are in a downward trend. So we have to tell ourselves that, look, guys, there's nothing bullish about this. You know, also we have this, you can see this kind of a descending triangle as well. None of this helps. Do you know what I mean? I mean, some people have actually connected another dot, and which is quite cool to understand, because there is another triangle here. And what they've said is, look, if you look carefully, you might even see an ascending triangle. And I had a bit of a problem with that, because it doesn't look like an ascending triangle. A triangle, right? So what they've done is they've just used this data and they said, look, this is an ascending triangle. Ascending triangle has to have a few points of, you know, a little bit of a area where it does kind of come in and, you know, have a battleground, right? We didn't really have this. I mean, if you're going to use this, then isn't really part of the pattern. Do you know what I mean? So this is why I wasn't going to talk about this. I mean, there's no point. Also, I wanted to talk about one other thing as well. I know somebody else, hey Bubble, how you doing, brother? I know somebody else was today, well, one of our members on Discord showed me something regarding the 3-month chart, and I kind of just said something to him, and I think that will kind of make sense to him. If you divide the number of years by the number of months, you don't really have many candles. And when you're looking at greater timelines, so on this one, I don't have the, so for example, I don't have the 6 months on it, but I'll just show you what I mean, right? When you're taking something over a greater period of time, you can say what you like, but that data is not sufficient for us to give us an idea and say, well, this is what the market is doing. So another brothers used a 3-month candle, and somebody else actually used the 6-month candles to do the same thing pretty much, right? And say, oh, look where we are right now. Guys, it doesn't work like that. You need to have more. This data is not sufficient. And something like Bitcoin with the finite supply, right? It's always going to go up. Do you know what I mean? So it's a really, really difficult one. I mean, something that you know that there's plenty, ample supply, we might see up and downs, and we can expect these wedges and say, okay, look, we're on an ascending wedge. We're going to break down and come back down to this ground level here. Makes sense. Stocks, this, that, all makes sense. But when you've got something like this, limited supply, you can't really use this. That's what I'm trying to say here. You can't really use this, right? Because if even here, for example, when you're looking at this, this is on a Coinbase chart. What you're seeing is there's only a few peaks, right? It doesn't make any sense. That's what I wanted to say, right? The growths have been exponential, right? I mean, going from pennies all the way to like thousands. Of course, this is going to look like a wedge. Nothing goes up in a straight line. So please do understand this. I don't want to go too deep into this, but the more time frames we have, the better it looks. And ultimately, when you've got something, you have to also keep the fundamentals in mind and say, look, guys, without the fundamentals, we can't really just jump on board and say, well, this is what's happening right now. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. So just wanted to clear that. And let's come back into this anyway, right? So I just wanted to clear that area. So far, what I am looking, right? So this is a slightly different setup where I can see money coming in or out. So far, we can see this is definitely 100% a bullish candle. But it doesn't change anything for us because we do have this massive resistance area here at this 44,900. Call it 45, just for the sake of it. We'll call it 45,000. Actually, we do have a wick at the 45,000. Until we bring a candle here, we don't invalidate anything. And you see how this channel is working. So let me zoom out of this and show you. So you see how we have this falling channel here, right? I mean, we can draw a line and call it a wedge. Doesn't matter, right? So we do have this channel here. Now, with this channel being here, we can see that we're currently in the middle. When you can see the midway point, we're bouncing on the middle point of a median line. And we're coming to test this. But coming to test this doesn't mean we're going to break this area or anything like this. So you see with the test point here, I mean, even today, we might even stay low. So saying tomorrow we might be able to break it, right? And if we do break it, then we can see a pump taking us back to the $53,000, $54,000 level. Obviously, we're going to have some resistance here, nothing too much. But just looking at all of this, you do have to understand where we are right now, and you've got to really stay calm. And remember, yesterday I showed you, or yesterday or the day before, we talked about a Mickey Mouse trade. Well, this could be a Mickey Mouse trade. So let's go into the market, and I haven't seen the charts, anything. I'm going to see them as we're doing it now. So it's not like I've sat down previously and done anything. These are all from yesterday. So let's have a look at what's going on in the entire market. BTC up, Ethereum up, USD also up. So something's not right? You can see, look, BUSD, USD, we can see the USD is also up. So are these real pumps? Let's go to the market and see what the market is doing. Let's see what the actual, what do you call this? What the market is showing us and what the volume is. Because that's the key, right? We've got to see the volume, 93 billion for 12,200 coins. Fine. BTC volume, 30 billion. Seriously, 30 billion, that's it. Do you know what I mean? And remember, this includes buying, selling, liquidations, the whole lot. You know, so when you're looking at this, is that really, really positive? Do you know what I mean? You got to really understand it for what it is, right? So I'm looking at all of this, I'm saying, I don't see this yet. Because remember, we're still below 3K for Ethereum. We're still below the 45K, and that is the trend, right? You cannot deny that that is the levels we need to go in order to create higher lows or higher, lower highs, basically, technically, right? And I want to show you more of this. Let me bring you into, actually, no, let me keep you on this chart, because you might turn around and say, why am I moving you charts for? Well, let's do this on a lower time frame, and I'll show you exactly what's happening right now. All right, let's take the drawing off. Right, so what do we have here right now? We have this point here, which is a lower high. And currently, we're still lower. So the trend is still intact. We're still coming down. We haven't invalidated any of this. Of course, the best news is, so far, we've had this low here, and then we've had a higher low here. But other than that, we've been actually bouncing. So we've created a wall, right? So what we've done here is we've created this wall here. Let me delete this. I'll bring it back again. So we've created a wall here. We're finding support, which is awesome, right? But this is all part of, in a mini time frame, you can see this is all part of this range. We just created a range here. It doesn't really tell us whether we're going up or down. Do you know what I mean? So these levels here are critical in order to reverse the trend. It is absolutely critical. This 45 is critical, right? So hope all of this kind of makes sense, and everybody understands that, you know, we still have Friday incoming, right? We still have Friday. We still have one more day. So tomorrow is going to be a decider for where we go. And I was looking at some other charts as well, some of the other things I've been doing as well. And I was looking at my Dixie chart, as you can see, telling us hourly hot, it's coming down, money's flowing out. Looking at the 12 hours, I do see some good news on the 12 hours though. I see a nice little a Bollinger Band squeeze coming up. Now, a Bollinger Band squeeze normally doesn't necessarily mean it's going up or down. It means indecisive, right? It could do anything. Traditionally, what we see whenever we're coming in from the low zones. So we're coming in from the low zones. So you see here, when we have a squeeze around the low zone, we do pump up when we see a squeeze here. So we've had the pump, we're coming in for a squeeze, and we're in a particular level where we don't know whether we're going up or down. The money flow is just sitting around as well. It's not really spiked up or anything. So using all of this data is like, okay, what's really going to happen right now? Are we going to see a big spike? Are we going to see a massive pump or not? We have to decide. We have to figure it out. So I'm going to be looking at all of this a little bit deeper because of where we are. And on the daily higher time frame, you can see we are still down on the lower zones. We're below the median line, and we still got a lot of room to grow. So far, what I'm seeing is the RSI is at the 39 level, which is a perfect zone. So that is showing definite reversal. So that's good news. We can see the stochastic RSI is around the 20 level, but, and I want to show you this quickly, right? But not showing absolute positiveness yet, if that makes any sense, right? So we do have a good RSI here, but the stochastic RSI is not showing us a good positive thing yet. So be patient, that's what I'm going to say. Don't FOMO like most people are right now, because a lot of people are jumping onto alts and this and that. I'm watching, I'm observing, and I'm saying, guys, it's great, but if you haven't got it already, be careful, because when I'm seeing this being green alongside this is telling me something. I need to see this red and this pump. Right now, what I'm seeing here, you know, when you see the USD coins are also pumping, something's not quite right here. That's all I want you to understand. Something is not quite right here, right? Very important. This has been pumping since yesterday. Awesome. I'm not a holder, so I used to hold back in the days, but right now, not anymore. These are probably just a bunch of scam coins and all sorts. I'm not going to even look at those. Right, when we're looking at the losers, we see the big boys are losing. So we do have some good news coming out for Luna. I talked about it with a few people. We do have some good news for FTM coming up as well in October. So October month for FTM, for Luna, are quite good. So just keep an eye on those two. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to mention anything else. We're not here to pump anything. But yeah, that's what we're seeing, guys. That's what we're seeing. Sorry, my bad. What am I looking here for? That shouldn't even be open. So let's go back and see, not this one as well. We don't need this one. Right. So let's have a little bash at BitDAO. All right. So we're looking at BitDAO here. Let me go here. Bit event, right? Bit event. So I don't know how many of you actually are still on this. So remember, BitDAO is going to be doing all sorts of other stuff. They're going to be launching a new promotion as well. So it's all happening. All right. From the 29th, as you can see, there's another Bit event going on until the October the 16th. So if you haven't taken your assets out, my advice is just leave it there and just wait. Hodl. You know, don't spend it, don't do anything, but just wait there, and you should be okay with that one. So that's that. Let's have a look at markets and see what this is doing. Let's refresh. Have we got Bitcoin coming out, or have we got Bitcoin going out? What have we got? So why is this doing this for? While I'm doing this, let me have a look at some of the chats. If 5 minutes in already. Awesome info. Thank you very much, bro. No, the thing is, you've got to really understand for the market, I mean, what the market is doing right now. So we can see good positive energy. Institutions are still buying, because remember, the big boys are buying here. They're taking it off the exchanges. So all of this is conflicting information, giving us the saying that, look, market wants to pump. Market definitely wants to pump. But I'm going to stay cautious. You see what I mean? I'm going to stay cautious, because even if this tells us that we know what's going on, market's looking all fantastic, you know, yada yada yada, we're going to pump to the moon, great, you know, everything is indicating great, everything is greatness. All right, so how many BTC do we have here? We have 99 BTC here, and how many do we have here? 93. Okay, so we have kind of a pretty balanced, right, sells and buys, so it's okay. I'm not going to look too much into that one. Not bad. What is this? US debt calling, and also Evergrande. Do you think these can bring the markets down? Well, why not? I mean, I'm on there right now. So this is the Dixie chart. So this is the dollar index chart. Dollar index chart, dollar's pumping a little bit. So I do have them open, bro. Don't worry, I have it open already, and I don't even need to know about your conversation. So dollar printing, and the dollar index chart, right? So if this is pumping, the market should also pump. There's a mega correlation with this and BTC pumps. So far we can see this is indicating there may be a pump, which is awesome to see. All right, I would love to see that happen. You know, this, as I said, it really does correlate with the Bitcoin markets, right? It's just hilarious how it does. So let's see what it does. If this can come back again, this should be really awesome. We do have some correlation here. When we're looking at the United States bonds market, now this is the one that freaks everybody out. The reason it freaks everybody out, because if the stock market crashes, and if you want to protect your asset, you need to go into the yield. All right, the 10-year yield. Of course, you're going to get shit money for it, but that's where people are going to be looking to put their money, and you can see this has been happening. So when people were confident in the market, this goes down. When people are not confident in the market, this goes up. So if you can see here, people were fully confident, right? And, you know, the confidence was growing. You can see the confidence has been growing for a very long time. So the confidence comes in, and people, you know, this whole thing comes down. Everyone's happy. And we can see how since all of the money printing and everything, like August 2020, for example, is a bottom here. We can see how the confidence has been leaving the market. People are afraid. So it's not happened a single day. So obviously when you're hearing something on the news, you hear it today, or it's happening, this, that, whatever. It's already happened. When you hear it, it's already happened. And you can see how this confidence just spiked, you know, away, right? And then you see some confidence came back in March 2021. This is confidence. Until July. What did we have around July? We had the Bitcoin dump. So you see what I mean? When people are confident in the markets, they want to be in the market. So of course Bitcoin dumped, right? Now we have this thing here. The confidence is coming back, right? Now when confidence is going away. When confidence goes away from the stocks, well, we see a clear pattern here. Do you see what I mean? We see a clear pattern. We see more confidence, more buys, BTC, stocks, everything. People are spending. No confidence, people are not buying. We don't see the volume. See, confidence comes back. We have a little bit of a pump here. You can see this. We have a little bit of a pump. Stocks pump, BTC pumps, everything pumps. Confidence goes away. We're afraid. You see what I mean? So I hope this kind of makes sense. So you can see how confidence, you know, no confidence and confidence, right? Does that make sense to you, right? So you can see there is no confidence in the market, and I'm seeing this on the S&P 500 as well. I mean, this is compared to where we were, right? So if you look at this on a weekly as well, right, you see how the market crashed. People became confident. When they became confident on March, they started picking up because they're getting discounts. You buy the dip. This is the biggest opportunity you can get, and everyone's made money. And now you can see here temporarily. So I wouldn't really count this yet, right? Because it hasn't really invalidated anything. And I'll show you what I mean by invalidation, right? So when you activate this and when you put a line, this is the invalidation point. So we're not far, but we do have a nice little invalidation point here. If we see the S&P 500 people taking their money out and it drop here, that will create a snowball effect, and everything will start tumbling, right? And when everything starts tumbling down here, you would see this chart going up like this. Not this, sorry, my bad. You'd see this chart moving up like this, and that's bad for us. That's for bad for us. So I just want you to understand that there is not a correlation. Technically, there is not a correlation with the stock markets. However, we do see these patterns, something in reverse. So when we see one thing happening here, we see the opposite happening here. So when we see downwards here, we see upwards here. That gives us a bit of a confidence. Also, when we start looking at all of this, you can see as well that the surplus money, kind of like, you can use the index chart just to kind of see the surplus money as well. The surplus money means people have more spending power, all right? And you can see that since March, people's spending power went down. There wasn't enough money in the market. Then money came in, and when the money comes in, you can see these moves, right? So you can see this pump here, lovely pump here, and then you can go back to a Bitcoin chart, and you can also see this pump on a daily. So let's match it. You can see this pump here. You see what I mean? You can see this pump here. So I hope this kind of makes sense. Very simple, easy way of looking at it. You can use the dollar Dixie chart to actually double check what's going on. But as I said, we're not out of the trend. So this is a bigger, greater pattern. So please do understand what this is. This is a bigger, greater pattern. What we're looking at, we're tracking this from March, right, as our low point. I mean, we should have done it from here, but I didn't bother because that means too many triangles. And this particular trend that I would love to track, you see what I mean? It's one of those trends that it's going to be quite far off. So there's no point. This is more of a longer term thing that we can track, right? But here, right now, when I'm looking at this area here, and let me zoom in. Let me go to the weekly. So when I'm doing this on a longer chart, right, what I am actually doing is tracking something like this and this particular curve here, which is actually a lot more positive. And as I said, it's like I've said this many times, guys. Putting something on a chart is actually subjective, right? It's actually very subjective. It's what you want to do. So you can easily go back to a very longer time frame and do this as well. It doesn't matter. Or you can find multiple touch points and then just use this as your data points and say, well, that's my multiple touch points. This is giving me more confidence, more confluence, and that's what I'm going to use. So whatever you want to do, but this is the kind of trend we have right now. All right. So let's see what it does. And as I said, look, anything for us to be very bullish. And I'll tell you one thing. Remember I mentioned some time ago, I said I'm not going to be opening any trades until 58. Well, I've kind of changed my mind. I've kind of changed my mind. And why did I change my mind? Well, I changed my mind because of one specific thing on the chart. Let's go to this chart again, actually, because I did delete a few bits and bobs here. Let me bring those back. Yeah, there we are. So the reason I'm looking at this chart, right, this specific chart, Bitcoin chart, is this $45,000 level. Now, if we have a breakout and we have something that comes and tests this, breaks out, confirms this, and moves back up again, I will actually be opening a trade around the $46,000 level, provided I have a candle closure below this to confirm that this is what we're doing. So I want to do a retest here, and I would open it on the retest, and I will actually open a trade, because if this is the case, then this mini trend can be reversed. And if this is reversed, then we're not far off from here, and I don't see why I shouldn't monetize. So that takes us back to the $48,000 level. And if we do go to the $48,000 level, I'll be cautious, obviously. I'm going to have a cautious risk managed trade. But if we go here and we bounce here and then we confirm again, well, that takes us back to our $52,000, $53,000 level. So that becomes super bullish. So all I'm doing is basically just adding to my position while the market's trending up. So I don't have to close anything, have a risk management, have a stop loss, and then basically move up. And I think I can climb this if this does what I think it will, only when it goes to 45. All right, so 45 is a key level for us. 45 will change this, reverse this trend. And what we're talking about is basically you come here, you've done this rubbish thing here, nothing here. You've come back, you've done this low here, and now you come back and you create this high, and that's what we want. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking for right now. If we can get this, that would be awesome. Let's see who's on the chat. Also, as I mentioned, US debt ceiling, right? So again, debt ceiling, they want to raise it even further. There's two ways, right? So you either default on the debt, and you say, well, look, we can't pay it anymore. And then you get the underwriters to wipe it off. Wiping it off means you make a whole amount of money that you printed vanish, and then everything else needs to rebalance. That means you don't really have to put the interest up. Or what you do, you don't wipe it off. You increase the ceiling and you say, okay, now you can borrow even more. you promised to pay me, but we are going to put the interest up. So raising the debt limit will increase the interest, and defaulting will not increase the thing, but obviously it will make the money vanish. So I hope that kind of makes sense in a layman's term. Cook coin. Okay, so Tamil asked something about not rubbish in the middle finger you are drawing. No, so this is a downward one, bro. What we want to see BTC do. So El Bubble just said something, and I'm going to show El Bubble something very, very nice. El Bubble will understand what I'm talking about. So what we want to see El Bubble right now, right? We've had all of this area here. Literally what we want to see is we've had this, fine. We want to see this and this, if that makes any sense, right? We want to see this, you know? It depends, if you're religious, then you can also have one of this. Do you know what I mean? That's what we want. And we're going to trade when we go above this line, if that makes any sense. Right? What we've got now is this pattern forming here, right? This pattern forming here, which is actually not the best pattern. Do you know what I mean? It's not the best pattern. It usually goes into a pit. You know what I mean? So it does it. The pits are not really good. You know, these are bad pits. You have a lot more trouble when you go into these pits. So I hope you kind of make sense, kind of understand exactly what's going on. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Now, let's have a look at Cook. I don't know whether brother comes up with all the names, but I do like Tamil. He does come up with all of this. Cook protocol. So again, he finds all of these crazy ones, insane. He finds these ones without like pennies. So I don't know where he gets these from. Let's have a look at year to date. Let's have a look at all. And let's see if it's even on trading. Is it anything? Nothing. Okay, so it's not on trading view yet. Let's see where we were. So we were at 29 cents. And we're currently down. I don't know. Is that, I mean, if I'm correct, is that down like 1000% or 100%? What is that? When you take something from here, 0.29, and then you go 0.006, is that like 1000%? I don't know. If it's 1000% down, if somebody wants to pick it up, great, you've got yourself a great opportunity. But other than that, I don't know what to say. It's moving around. Volume 31,000. Okay, so $31,000 volume. Great. Okay, I don't know what to say about this. Market 3 million. 10 billion tokens. Yeah, I can't tell you what the maths is, but I'm sure it's like 1000% down, right? I don't know what else to say, but plenty of protocols, plenty of finances out there. How many do you want? That's the question. Oh, and yeah, the typical images that we get. Great, great, great. So what are they cooking up anyway? Everyone's got lower thing. Friendly UI, DYDX. What I want to see is, when did this launch? What date is this? February. Okay, so since February. Bro, I don't know where you get me this kind of stuff. So transfers, we've had quite a few. Holders 3,000, fine. Last transfer from Uniswap, someone's bought quite a big amount. Happy days. I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna say anything on this one. I don't know what to say. You know, but I don't know where you get these stuff from. How do you find them? There are, look, great protocols out there. Plenty of protocols that you can actually get. No, 1 second. Right, there are great protocols out there. You can actually get those protocols and pick them up. So for example, protocols that people are interested, you can see great protocols here. You can see how much money's locked into them, and that's what makes sense, right? So if you want to go and get yourself protocols, try and pick up these protocols. You'll be safe. Just use DeFi Llama for it. Just go to these protocols. You'll be safe. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, new coins come with bigger rewards if they are solid, but the risk is so much high as well. You know, the risk is like 1,000%, as you can see. Do you want to take that? I'll be very careful. All right, I'll be very careful. But that's what I'm going to say. Look, this is a list, good list here. You've got like almost 100 here. I think even more. You've got 500 protocols here. So have a look at these protocols and see what they're doing. And especially look at the TVL. Very important. TVL is very important. When you've got total value locked, you can see how much money is being locked into these. And then move from there. Because that's the key. That's the key. Any protocol, anybody could launch a protocol. I could launch a protocol. But the point is, if I don't have any value locked in, I mean, for example, these small ones here, if there's no value locked in, I mean, $24. Do you know what I mean? So when you're looking at this, I don't want to go too deep into it, but that will tell you exactly what's going on. Value locked is a very, very important thing to see, right? Very important thing to see. So please understand. I hope this kind of makes sense. I know you come up with cooked and whatnot. So let's see. How's the look? That doesn't look good, does it? That looks like it's getting ready for a dump. So again, me being cautious, I hope this kind of makes sense why I'm being cautious, right? Why I'm saying, guys, wait for it. Wait for it. We need to get that. If we don't get that 45, nothing here is valid. Do you know what I mean? So I hope this kind of makes sense, because it is very important. Very, very important. Now let's move into some more charts. I don't want to ruin that chart for me. Yeah, let's move into some more charts without messing too much. Oh yeah, I was doing something here. No, actually, I'm going to leave that for another time. So this is going to be for another time. I'm not going to even talk about it right now, because I don't have much time. What's the time? Yeah, I don't have. I've got only about 15-20 minutes left. So let me quickly show you one other chart here, just to kind of make it a little bit more sense here. So you can see these resistance levels here. And what I've done here is I've put a regression chart here, right? Linear regression. And as you can see on the linear regressions, we're still below the trend. So let me zoom into this to show you. So for us to be positive and change this trend, you see we have to get back above this. And this is only on the mini time frame. And the total value here is 43,175, which is not bad. I think we are very close to this. This is on the 4-hourly as well. I want to show you something else on a daily, which is pretty insane. Check this out. On a daily, we've literally come. So I don't know if you're seeing this. This is just insanity. So on the daily, you see all of this, like, you know, technical bullish patterns that we talk about. Well, you can see on a daily, we've hit the bottom, and now we need to start pushing back up, get above this line, and start shooting up. And if we did this, then guys, look. You know what I mean? So you can use the linear regression. You can double check that. Best time to use it is on a daily. That will tell you what the market movement is. But obviously, any indicator is not an absolute indicator. It does show you what's going on. So just be careful when you do use this kind of stuff, the linear regression. As you can see on the daily, I'm still sitting on the low. I need to see a high, and the high right now that we need to beat is the 52,000 on the daily. On the hourly, remember on the 4-hourly, on a lower time frame, 4-hourly, you can see the trend line that we need to break is this 45k here. All right. So let's be patient. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get that. Fingers crossed, and then we move forward from there. Now let's talk about some others. Let's have a look at the dominance and see what BTC dominance is doing. And let me change my wick candles. BTC dominance is not doing good. We don't want to see an upward trend. We want to see this come down. We want to see this BTC dominance drop and come below this line. That's what we want to see. So let me switch this off. We don't need this. Right? We want to see BTC dominance drop and come back to these lines here. Actually, I can leave that. That's not a bad thing. So here, that's what we need. All right. Ethereum dominance we want to see up. So we want to see Ethereum coming back and test this and move up. So that's what we want to see. BTC, we want to see it go down. Ethereum, we want to see it go up and see how that moves and see what it does. This is Ethereum. Same again. You can see the same pattern as BTC. And we've got this neckline here. I've actually got a double top here. Can you see top? We've got a double top here. What we need to do is invalidate both of them. So for us, we need to get above this 3,175. Right, so I'm looking at about 3,200. If we can get to that, then we invalidate this and we move forward. So long way to go, guys. Long way to go. We're not finished. Trust me, we're not finished. This is not over. BNB was surprising, and you can see where it is right now. It's struggling just below this. It almost done it. It almost came in, right? And you have to really zoom in to see this, right? Almost. What did I do here? Sorry, we don't want to look at that. We want to look at... Sorry, my thing is lagging a little bit, so I'm not sure what's going on. I think I've just got too many shit open. But yeah, so what you're seeing here is how BNB almost came and touched it. Just missed it by $1 or $2, but I think still on a positive movement. It definitely is a good sign. If it does invalidate this, then it starts moving up. That should be really, really cool to see. So let's see. That's better. There you go. So yeah, that's something we want to see, obviously. Dot. I don't know. I think I'm going to wait for the news, because there's some dot news coming on. I think it's the 7th of October, 6th or the 7th of October. That I'm going to watch. Maybe there will be some buy the news event, right? Let's hope there is a buy the rumor event or buy the news event, because I mean, dot hasn't really done anything. If you look carefully, dot hasn't done anything. Right? Only good thing dot has done so far since the dump is create a higher low. Right, so we've got 3 higher lows, which is awesome to see. That means it hasn't really gone down. That's the same as the entire market. What we need to see now is dot pushing and going into those targets, right? Dot pushing, breaking those targets, and probably even pumping further to our previous all-time high targets, which is around the $70-80. We want to see a dot over there. Solana, same thing, creating higher lows. You can see, right? So higher lows. That's fine. High low, another high low. It's coming into a squeeze. Now that's a good thing to see as well. You can actually see this pattern here. So you can see from here, we've come down and we've done this, right? And let's just keep it as simple as possible. Hold on, let me bring this back. That will adjust it automatically. And you see how we've basically come into this triangle. So we're coming into this squeeze point, and because it's kind of a symmetrical triangle, all right, kind of a symmetrical. I'm not going to say symmetrical, kind of a symmetrical triangle. If we just adjust this and straighten it up, what we've got here is this. So we've got 2 situations formed here. We've got this level here, which says if we break out right around here, we should go back and test $177. Awesome to see. But if we break down, remember this is an indecisive pattern. If we break down, then sadly we can go all the way back down to the $93, $94. So be cautious on this one. Let's see what it does. Cardano's same shit, different story, different day. Honestly, same shit. First time it's created a higher low, but you can see here we had a low. So low, that was bad, right? Now it's decided to create itself a higher low. Let's see what it does now. And obviously, again, the neckline. These are all keys. The neckline is a key. So let's see what that does. EGLD. It's doing fine. You've got a low, higher low, higher low. The pattern is still intact. It hasn't really broken the trend. The trend is still solid. From what I can see, this is a very solid pattern. All we need to do now is to continue the market. We need to go above this line here. If we can get above this $260, then we're basically confirming and moving and shooting back to the moon. So this could all be an indication that, yes, there may be an altcoin season coming. I mean, if you look at all of these patterns that we're seeing, everything is showing us these little triangles here. You know what I mean? Everything is giving us these little triangles here. I don't know if you can see these. And these are coming into these squeezes where, a squeeze where they want to push up or push down. So it's a decision. The next few days is all decision. So I think like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 very important days for 2021. The 3 most important days for 2021, because that would tell you exactly what the market's going to do. Do you know what I mean? Here we see, well, again, symmetrical because it's not really ascending. I would have loved to see it as an ascending, but it's not entirely an ascending. Actually, it is an ascending. Wow, okay, that's a very bullish sign. So if I'm looking at this and the dots are connected, this is an ascending triangle. But as you can see, it's not over. So we need to see what this actually does, where this actually takes us. And we can actually now also see if we did have a breakout, what would the breakout be, right? So if we did do a pump, the pump should take us, and I'm just going to put on the flat line here. If we did have a pump, the pump should take us around the $30. This pattern doesn't look like a dump pattern, so I'm not going to even bother doing a dump on this. I'm just going to say if we did have a pump, that's what we're going to do. So far so good. These are some of the shit coins. They're all doing their shitty stuff, so I'm not going to even bother talking about them. I want to talk about one other coin here, this one here. I want to talk about this. the reason I want to talk about this is because recently a lot of people have been asking me what's the best shitcoin to buy. Everyone asks me what's the best shitcoin to buy, and I've been showing them this. I said the best shitcoin to buy is this. The best shitcoin to buy is this, and it was like, why? I was like, well, you got to be able to lose some money, right? If you go into crypto, and this is so far one of the best coins. You can lose $100 or 100 quid, and you're still fine, right? So that's what I said. I said just put $100 or 100 quid, you'd be fine. Do you know what I mean? You'd be absolutely fine. I don't see much of an issue on this particular one. You know, and I'm showing you this symmetrical, but it's actually not a symmetrical pattern. It's actually this. Look, boom. See, this is actually an ascending wedge. So ascending triangle. So it looks very solid to me. This looks very, very solid. And with all the news and all the hype, they got more accounts, more everything. It's a matter of time when this actually does something insane. And obviously, remember, this has to go above these candles. And it almost did it, by the way. Almost did it. This was the Coinbase pump. But when we can break these and continue to reverse and create higher highs, right? So the pattern we're looking for is when we come back here, we do these, right? We do these. It's on another level. It's on another level. You have 20 million. Awesome, bro. Awesome. Of course you are. Of course you are. If anybody says how many crypto you have, just show them your wallet and say, look, that's how many crypto I have. I've got 20 million crypto. The price is not the thing. You bought the crypto. That's what matters. You know, this kind of makes sense. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope this all kind of helps you understand what's going on. I mean, look, this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. This bloody. We want to see this bloody. This makes me happy. Right, so we want to see all of this bloody and we want to see all of this green. So this makes me happy, but as I said, this is all on a short term. We need to see things on a bigger picture. We need to see on a higher time frame, and we need to confirm those higher time frame targets in order for us to get to where we want to get to, right? And on the higher time frame, we're not out of danger until we go to this $45,000 level, approximately $45,000 level. Yes, around $45,000 level. That's number one. Number two, we need to break out of this channel because we're inside this this descending channel here. Whatever we do, we need to get out of this channel altogether and bounce. That's what we need to do to continue the next wave. Remember the last time we had a channel, and I'll show you this. I drew this last time as well. Remember last time we had a channel, it was here, right? We had this channel here and we broke out of this, which was awesome. And we need to do the same thing here, break out of this channel in order for us to be positive, right? Because if we're not, then we can go down even further. So I hope this kind of makes sense. Haven't got much time, so other than that, if you're new to the channel, guys, subscribe, hit that subscribe, smash that like button, share with your friends and family, and I'm going to catch you on another one very soon. And also remember, I'm on Discord, so you can join the Discord and join the community and have discussions there as well. Obviously, if I'm free, I will definitely talk with you guys directly. It's not an issue. I know there are some guys who have messaged me and whatnot, and I'm happy to just, like, when I'm free, I'm happy to just call you and through Discord, obviously, and have a conversation with you. Whatever the case is, we can always discuss, and hopefully, you know, if that helps you in your daily trade or whatever, I'll do that, and I don't charge anything for it. Okay, so that's the whole thing. So I hope this kind of helps. It's all about making sure the community understands the dangers, the risks and everything, and be a good trader, whether you're a spot trader or you're a leverage trader. You know, you should always have a winning strategy. That's the most important thing. A strategy, discipline, right, and risk management. Those are the key things you need. Once you've got all of those, you go to the moon. Do you know what I mean? So right now, this is where discipline comes in. All right, you can see a discipline and you can see a strategy. So as I said, if this goes to here, I'm happy to open a trade around the 46, not the 45. I'm happy to do a 46 if I have a confirmation. That's my strategy. All right, my discipline says to me I need to be cautious while I'm below this. So you see what I'm doing. This is also includes my risk management, and says to me that right now it's very risky. Do not do anything until I go there, because anything could happen. We're not out of danger. We're still in a falling. So you can see this mini falling, a descending triangle, right? So there are patterns within a pattern within a pattern, and there's so many here, guys. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to show you this, and that's one of the reasons why I'm actually showing you this as well. That look, there are greater patterns, right? I could have drawn the triangles this way. Instead, I did it reverse because I want to show you there are greater trend lines, right? And then you can see every one of them is a trend line. So when the more you zoom into this, the more you realize that, hold on, every last one of these are trend lines. There are there are major trend lines, everything. And for us to invalidate each of the zones, we need to get into these zones. we need to go above these levels, these necklines, these points here. We need to go above them in order for us to invalidate everything. It just looks beautiful as well. But that's what it is. So please do understand. Ennis says, shout out to Mo. Yes, bro. Shout out to Mo. I'm not sure if he's on the on our group, but regardless, shout out to Mo, shout out to everybody here actually, shout out to Ennis. Awesome is one of our members. Awesome not only is just a member, Ennis is actually one of our premium members, so shout out to him. KR, shout out to him. El Bubble, shout out to you as well. And I think KR is one of our oldest member here. Yeah, he's our oldest member here. We've got SM. Okay, awesome. He's one of our oldest members from one of our private groups. So yeah, shout out to everyone for coming to the show. And I hope you found value. And remember, guys, questions, this, that, suggestions, you can always post stuff in Discord. That's where I will communicate after the show. Okay, you can also follow me on Twitter, and all my private links actually on my video description. You can definitely go out there and check it out. So big shout out to Mo and Ennis for calling him out. Happy days, bro. I hope this is KO the champion. And El Bubble, of course, El Bubble, the super e-gold champion here. So super good. And yeah, I'll catch you on another one very soon. I'm well over my time, but I'll see you soon, guys. Adios, my amigos. It's been a pleasure.